The backup plan they never wanted you to have.
You were never supposed to have options. Let's get that straight from the beginning. The system wasn't built to make you rich. It was designed to make you predictable, obedient, grateful for crumbs. And guess what's more dangerous than a smart person? Smart person with leverage, a second income, a backup plan. So of course they never taught you how to build one, because the moment you do, you become a problem.
The lie of the stable job.
They told you to work hard, get a good job, climb the ladder. Sounds noble, right? Except the ladder is missing half its steps, the building's on fire, and the CEO just left in a golden parachute. Let me ask you something. How many people do you know who lost everything because they had one source of income? Exactly, one paycheck, one boss, one emergency away from collapse. But here's the kicker. They made you believe that was safety. While entrepreneurs and digital creators were building 10 income streams from a laptop and Wi-Fi, you were still praying for a 3% raise that doesn't even beat inflation.
Why they don't want you to know this?
Micro-income streams are quiet threats. They don't look impressive at first. $200 from freelancing, $50 from an ebook, maybe $300 from selling templates online. But here's the truth. They're not advertising. It's not about the money. It's about the mindset. When you realize you can make money without permission, without clocking in, without shaving your soul to fit someone else's agenda, you stop playing their game, and trust me, nothing terrifies the system more than someone who no longer needs it.
The side hustle lie.
They'll mock you. Call it a side hustle, as if it's some cute little hobby you do between episodes of your burnout. But here's what they won't say. That tiny side gig. That digital product you made on a Sunday morning? That consultation you gave a stranger on Zoom? It's not just income, it's proof. Proof that your value doesn't have to go through HR to exist. Proof that you're not trapped in the 9-to-5 matrix unless you choose to be. And the minute you taste that independence, you'll never look at a job application the same way again. Think about the moment you lost sleep over bills. The time your car broke down and your bank account laughed in your face. The panic when layoffs started circling like vultures. Now imagine you had just one backup stream. Just $500 sitting there from something you built. Would that have changed everything? Yes. Because micro-income isn't just financial. Psychological warfare against the helplessness they want you to feel.
How to start without being a guru.
Let's be clear. You don't need to be a content creator. You don't need to dance on TikTok or build a 7-figure brand. You need 2 things. 1, a problem you can solve. 2, and a way to deliver it digitally. Freelance a skill. Sell a template. Write a guide. Offer coaching. License your work. Automate just one small thing that makes you $1 a day, because $1 turns into $5, $5 into $50, and $50 into freedom. That's the snowball they pray never rolls. They trained you to be dependent, to ask for raises, to feel lucky just to be employed. But now you know better. Because while they're still fighting for promotions, you're building quiet empires in the background. You're not just earning extra money, you're buying back options. Control, time, and that's the backup plan they never wanted you to have. Freelancer, or just another slave with Wi-Fi? So you escaped the 9-to-5. Congratulations, you're free now, right? You work in your pajamas, sip overpriced coffee, and call yourself a digital nomad. You don't have a boss, just 15 clients who all think they own your soul. Welcome to the new dream, freelance freedom. It's also known as corporate slavery. Now available from anywhere with a Wi-Fi signal.
The dark truth about freedom.
They sold you a fantasy. Be your own boss. Choose your hours. Work from Bali. Cute. But here's what they didn't say. You still trade time for money. You still chase invoices. You still panic at 3 a.m. because your client ghosted and the rent is due. You don't have a job anymore. You have 12 jobs and no HR department to shield you. And the worst part? You call this freedom? Why freelancing doesn't set you free. Here's what no one's putting in their LinkedIn bio. Freelancing isn't freedom. It's just a different flavor of dependence. Instead of one boss, you now juggle clients, deadlines, revisions, and that existential dread every time work dries up. You're not free, just slightly better dressed and slightly more tired. But the system loves this. Because now you think you've escaped, when really, you've just been outsourced to yourself. Remember when you left your job and thought, this is it, I'm never going back? 6 months later, you're overworked, underpaid, and somehow more anxious than when you had dental benefits. This isn't what you wanted. You wanted peace, autonomy, time. But instead, you got clients who think urgent means yesterday, revisions on things that were fine the first time, pay that feels like charity, not compensation. You're not working for yourself. You're just the new middle manager of your own misery.
Where it went wrong.
Here's the mistake. You stopped working for a company. But you never started working for yourself. You became a service provider, a glorified task robot. You traded the office cage for a prettier one, with plants, natural light, and the illusion of choice. But you're still in the loop, still in the grind, still living invoice to invoice. That's not entrepreneurship. It's digital peasantry.
The way out.
So what now? Quit freelancing. Go back to the cubicle. No, you don't burn the system. You outsmart it. Here's what they won't teach you in school or on Fiverr. Leverage your freelance skills to build assets. Use your design skills to sell templates. Use your copywriting to build info products. Turn your service into a product. Turn your process into a course. Turn your advice into a paid subscription. Stop selling time. Start selling results and replicable systems. Because when your income comes from what you've already created, not what you have to do every single day, you finally start moving up the chain, not just surviving, extracting. Freelancing can be freedom, but not if you stay stuck on the hamster wheel of client work. You don't need more gigs. You need more leverage, more automation, more assets. Because until then, you're not free. You're just another slave. Only now, your chains are invisible. Your prison comes with Wi-Fi. How a 29.99 Reels ebook can set you free from corporate slavery. What if I told you that a $5 digital file, yes, just an ebook, could do more to change your life than for years of college, 2 decades of corporate loyalty, and all the LinkedIn motivational quotes combined? You'd probably laugh. And that's exactly what they want. Because if you did take it seriously, you might stop needing them.
The system hates scalability.
Here's something no one teaches you in business school. Scalability is rebellion. The moment you create something once and sell it 1,000 times, you break the system's golden rule. Trade time for money until you die. But a digital product, an ebook, a template, a cheat sheet, a guide, it doesn't ask for your time again. It just sells. And that, my friend, is economic heresy.
Micro product, macro freedom.
A $5 ebook isn't just a file. It's a blueprint for escape. You're not going to get rich overnight. You're going to get something more powerful. Proof. Proof that you can earn without a boss, without a punch clock, without begging for just one more shift this week. And once you taste that, your employer's motivational posters won't hit the same. Think back to that time when 1. Your job was hanging by a thread. 2. Your rent was due and your bank account mocked you. 3. You realized your career path was just a treadmill in disguise. Now imagine you had $300 rolling in from a little product you made once. No client, no meeting, no boss breathing down your neck. Just automated sales from a system you built in silence. That's not passive income, it's revenge.
Why they mock ebooks.
Ever notice how people laugh at ebooks? Oh, you're selling a PDF now? Yes, and while they laugh, you're building leverage. Because the people who mock digital products, they're still stuck in the mindset that value equals hours. That unless you bleed for money, you didn't earn it. But here's the truth. The new rich don't hustle. They automate. And every sarcastic comment is just a symptom of financial Stockholm syndrome.
The simplest business in the world.
Let's break it down. You know something that someone else doesn't? You write it down, you format it, you upload it to a platform. You charge $5 and the internet does the rest. It's not a side hustle. That's an anti-job. No boss, no dress code, no circle back emails, just digital leverage. And yes, it all started with one ebook. Want a keyword for Google? Here it is. How to make passive income selling digital products. Now here's the human version. Stop waiting for permission to make money. Start turning your brain into a product. Package knowledge, price it, publish it, and let the world pay you while you sleep. This is not about going viral. It's about going sovereign. I want you to believe you need a startup, investors, or a 60-hour work week to break free. But you don't need any of that. Sometimes all it takes is one little ebook, written with courage, uploaded with doubt, and sold with quiet defiance. Because that $5 product, that's not just digital, that's symbolic. It says, I don't need this system to survive anymore. That is exactly what makes it dangerous.
Consulting. How to get paid for what you already know while others pretend they know anything.
So let me get this straight. You've spent years learning, failing, figuring things out the hard way. You've survived toxic jobs, chaotic clients, and 10,000 hours of experience. And now someone out there with a problem you already solved is ready to pay someone to help them. But instead of stepping in and charging for your brain, you're still pretending you don't know enough. Spoiler. You do. And the world is full of clueless people with money who desperately need someone like you, preferably with a microphone and a payment link.
The truth about consulting.
Consulting isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most useful. You're not selling genius. You're selling clarity, confidence, a shortcut, second opinion that makes someone look like they know what they're doing. Half of consulting is just saying, yeah, don't do that. I did that once. It sucked. Boom, that's $200 an hour.
Why they don't want you doing this.
You know who hates this model? The system. Because if people realized they could make money from what they already know, instead of trading time, titles, and trauma for a paycheck, HR would be out of a job. You're not supposed to know your experience has value. You're supposed to think your value comes from being employable. From pleasing bosses and surviving performance reviews, consulting says, actually, I already have something worth paying for, and I don't need a boss to tell me that. That's dangerous. Search this later. How to monetize what you already know. It's not about degrees. It's not about credentials. It's about solving a problem better, faster, or simpler than someone else can. You already do that? Every day, for free, at work, in conversations, on Reddit. The only difference? Consultants charge for it. Still give it away like it's a party trick. Think of every time you helped someone at work, fixed something your manager didn't even understand, gave advice that actually worked, got zero recognition. Now imagine getting paid $300 just to say, here's what I'd do if I were you. That's not arrogance. That's compensation. And you've been underpaid for years.
But I'm not an expert.
Here's the lie that keeps people poor. I'm not an expert. Guess what? Neither are 90% of the people charging for consultations. They're just confident. And confidence is currency. You don't need to be 10 steps ahead. You just need to be 2. Far enough to guide someone who's stuck. Trust me, there are millions of people stuck in things you've already figured out.
Turn your knowledge into cash.
Here's how the game works. Identify what you already know that others find confusing. Package it as a service. Strategy call, audit, Q&A, feedback session. Set a price. Even if it feels too high, promote it, softly or loudly. Doesn't matter. Repeat. No warehouse, no employees, no overhead. Just you, your brain, and the confidence to say, yes, I can help. Book a call. It's consulting. Not rocket science, just common sense, monetized. You've spent your whole life building value. Now it's time to extract some. Consulting isn't about being perfect. It's about being helpful, finally getting paid to say what you've been saying for free. So the next time someone asks for advice, don't just grab a coffee. Send a link, set a price, and start treating your knowledge like it's worth something. Because it is. And it's about damn time you acted like it.
How tiny money can burn the whole system down.
You want freedom? Then stop waiting for a 6-figure salary to save you. Because here's the truth. No one with a suit and a pension plan wants to admit. You don't need millions to be free. You need options. And those options are built from the most underestimated force in the economy. Micro income. Tiny cash flows. Stupid little side hustles. That $89 that hit your Stripe account while you were in the shower. You know, the kind of money the system mocks, right up until you don't need a boss anymore.
The system hates multiple streams.
You were trained to believe in one income, one source, one lifeline. A paycheck that comes every 30 days, as long as you behave and don't question anything. But you know what one income means? It means control. Because if they can shut off your only tap, they own you. But if you've got 5 taps running, even if each one is slow and awkward and ugly, you're dangerous. Because suddenly, you don't have to say yes. And the system only works when you say yes. Search it. How to create multiple streams of income. You'll find a mess of articles about dividends, real estate, and affiliate links, all written by people trying to sell you a course. But here's the raw truth. You don't need Wall Street, you need movement. Single PDF sold on Gumroad. A consulting call once a week. A Notion template someone finds on your TikTok bio. These aren't businesses, they're exit doors. Every micro-income stream is a middle finger to the system that told you freedom was reserved for the rich. Let's rewind. Remember that time you couldn't sleep because you weren't sure how to pay rent? That time your card got declined in public? That humiliating moment when you had to say no to something? Not because you didn't want it, but because you couldn't afford it. Now imagine $600 quietly landing in your account that week from something you built, not begged for, not traded time for, just earned in the background. That's not income. It's insurance against despair.
Why they keep you broke?
You think it's an accident that no one taught you this? That school was filled with mitochondria and algebra, but zero lessons on monetizing your skills? No, it's not a failure. It's by design. Because someone earning micro-income doesn't fear layoffs, doesn't accept abuse, doesn't clap for promotions that are just new titles with more emails. Micro-income makes you sovereign, and sovereign people don't obey quietly.
The power of $20.
Everyone talks about making $10,000 a month. Cool. But let me ask you something. What happens to your self-worth the first time you make $20 online, on your own terms? You change. You realize money doesn't just come from employment. It can come from creativity, from skills, from your damn ideas. Yes. You stop seeing money as permission and start seeing it as a tool. And that is when the game changes forever.
The new math of freedom.
Here's the new equation. $500 a month from 3 different sources greater than $6,000 from a single employer. Why? Because those streams are yours. They can grow, multiply, evolve. You control them. No dress code, no office politics, no begging. $150 from Substack. $200 from freelance edits. $300 from that mini course you launched 3 months ago and forgot about. It's not about being rich. It's about not being owned. You've been lied to. It's told to aim high, but only in the ways they approve. But real freedom isn't flashy. It's quiet, strategic, cumulative. It's the $9 sale that buys you 1 hour less in traffic, the $30 invoice that pays for therapy, the $120 a week that lets you say no to one more meeting that should have been an email. So build your micro income, stack the wins, buy your freedom in pieces until the day you wake up and realize they can't control you anymore.